Let's go.
Are you ready? I said, are you ready? Feed me.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Big Daddy Cool Vinny Apicella, and we are here live with the Sportswire, right here on Fat Cat Radio. And I want to just put out a good old shout out to our Fat Cat Radio compadres out there, Twisted White Peace, and just everyone else that works on Fat Cat Radio. This is a week of Thanksgiving 2015, at least in the U.S., at least in the United States it is. I know for my Canadian listeners, you guys had your Thanksgiving last month. But, you know what? We have Thanksgiving coming up here this coming Thursday. But I'll get more into that in just a little bit. Before anything, I want to apologize. Last Thursday's episode, I forgot to end with a prayer. I've been doing that, for the past month or so, and I totally forgot to end with a prayer. So, for those of you who are trying to hold me accountable, let's first things first. Let's go to God in prayer. Let's give God our first fruits today, and the very first thing we're going to do is give thanks, and give thanks to God. And Father God, I want to thank you for allowing me to wake up this morning. Thank you for giving me this outlet, Lord. Thank you for giving me the talents and the skills to utilize a vehicle, to utilize this form of media, Lord, to reach out to the masses of people out there, to all the listeners out there of Fat Cat Radio, of the Sportswire, and just to not only give them sports information or entertainment information or political information or whatever, or just my thoughts on random stuff, but also to spread your word, Lord, and just to give out some positive and encouraging messages, Father. I thank you for being a loving dad, a graceful dad, a peaceful dad, Lord, and I thank you for just taking care of us, whether we're EGRs, extra grace required, or just the people that are CEOs, which are Christmas and Easter only, or the Christians that are fully committed to living a life that you want us to live, Father. I thank you for everything you do on a daily basis. I pray for this show. I pray for, a sponsor to want to step up and, help out with the costs of this show. I pray for a car, Lord. I pray for, my own mode of transportation. I pray for my job to let it stay fruitful, to let it stay positive and encouraging, Lord. I definitely want to pray for just us in general, Lord. I thank you for giving us entertainment to watch and just outlets to release some frustrations and just to get out of the problems and the stresses of the world when we have people killing each other for pretty much no reason at all. But I just pray for all of us and for the world itself to, come to peace, Father, to come to know you, to come to love you and just want to change the world and become a Christian, Father. I thank you for all you do and everything you do on a daily basis. And I ask all this through your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. All right, let's get to our worship song of the day. It's Bizzle, and this song is called Alhala on the Sportswire.
The Great Symphony.
Yeah. Yeah. Got over money. You know what it is. Check it. This that top down in the summer music right here. Let's take it to the club. Yeah. Hey. It's me waving to all my haters, but this ain't high. I'm just saying bye. I see y'all later. Yeah. I ain't got time to try to please you when I'm trying to I'm doing, but they can't, cause I'm only doing what he told me. And with the little bills up, can't a soul knock down, homie, y'all can't hold me. It's like everybody hate biz, though what I do's best for a lot of they kids. And I was just trying to be real, obviously the honesty's not what they feel. Or maybe I should lie to the haters, tell them to lie, kill, and die for the paper. Tell them I get high and ride in the scraper, flip pies, did big time in the clanker. See, I was never married to the game, had a quick fling with her, but we never was engaged. And that's pedal to the metal for the savior. Young flying saved, it'll never be the same. It's me waving to all my haters, but this ain't high. I'm just saying bye, I see y'all later. I ain't got time to try to please you when I'm trying to please God. Tell a hater, hey, 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 tell a hater, hey, hey, tell a hater. I put God over money, got my mind on this sun, and I'ma live life, and if you hating on Christ, then you hating on life, homie, y'all don't know. See, I could rap about trapping all day, and y'all will sit back like that was okay. But if I say it's wrong and your favorite rapper doing it, you still get mad, it don't matter how true it is. They like Biz speaking no facts, but he Christian, I don't really believe in all that. But when the last time Lil Wayne hollered out blood and you didn't rock with the song, cause you not one. Y'all so biased, that's what's up. I'm so tired, but I won't budge. Hate me, I'ma still show love. Now take this to the club. Hey, it's me waving to all my haters, but this ain't high. I'm just saying bye, I see y'all later. I ain't got time to try to please you when I'm trying to please God. Tell a hater, hey, 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 tell a hater, hey, hey, tell a hater.
Biz, this is what I see happening. A bunch of guys telling lies for them greenbacks and a positive reaction. Man, this game's like a chick flick, cause they all talk plus you don't see action. It's like everybody wanna make ends. Fast bucks, jag truck, or an H10. They want it black and gray tinted with the blade spinning. But I'm so overcast, call me Blake Griffin. Out of this world like I'm spaceshipping. I'm in love with the rock, not what they pitching. The kingdom with me, homie, we are Yeshua's kin. On the same stuff but look different, Ryu and Ken. We the body, so it's Christ that we all about. Even if we stand out like a vegan in a slaughterhouse. Calling out a generation, elevating down. So when your best Ja Rule voice tell a hater,
it's me waving to all my haters, but this ain't high. I'm just saying bye, I see y'all later. I ain't got time to try to please you when I'm trying to please God. Tell a hater, hey, 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 tell a hater, hey, 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 tell a hater.
All right, folks, and that's right. That's Bizzle with Al Hala right here on the Sportswire. First off, before we get to anything else, I want to thank our awesome sponsors of Fat Cat Radio. It is Wayne Jones from Black Lion Entertainment Music Group, Jerry Wilson from It's So Real Productions. Then we've also got Stay Blessed Productions, and then also we've got Sister Sue's Homemade Jams and Jellies. They are in West Virginia, and also M&J Video Games and First Base Sports Cards and Collectibles in Southington and Wallingford, Connecticut. Matter of fact, in the Wallingford store on December 5th, WWE legend Brutus the Barber Beefcake will be there signing autographs. So if you have a fan in your life that likes Brutus Beefcake and you're trying to figure out what to get for them for Halloween, a great autograph will be key. That's December 5th, I believe, from 3 to 5 p.m. And that'll be an absolute fantastic thing for the wrestling fan in your life. All right, so that takes care of that. Also, all the ways that you could listen to the Sportswire, and any kind of listening device that you're on. You can go over to our Spreaker homepage, which is Spreaker.com/show/sports-wire. Also, our website itself, www.swe-ct.com, and believe me when I say it will be updated. I apologize. It's been one of those things that it's kind of been put on the back burner because of different things. But you can always the latest Sportswire always goes over there, so you can definitely listen to the latest Sportswire. Also, www.myfatcatradio.com. Also, go to our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/SportswireCT and facebook.com/FatCatRadioEnterprise. Also, on Twitter, SoundCloud, Instagram, Foursquare, Pinterest, Periscope, Tout, Tumblr, SWE Connecticut, as well as Snapchat as well, SWE Connecticut. And then also on Skype, Google Plus, and YouTube is Sportswire SWE. So, and then email us, sportswire@swe-ct.com. So there's numerous ways out there to get in touch with us, to listen to us, just interact with the Sportswire. So we've got quite a bit to talk about today. Last night we had a huge celebration here at the Sportswire studios, if you will. We ended up watching a 25th anniversary celebration of... That's right, 25 years of the Dead Man, of the Phenom, The Undertaker. Last night at Survivor Series, The Undertaker and Kane, the Brothers of Destruction, reunited to take on Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper of the Wyatt family. Matter of fact, at first, we thought it was going to end up being Eric Rowan as part of the team because he kind of jumped the gun, but he got a double chokeslam for his troubles. And then, throughout the night, they were going back and forth and showing different, memories, or if you will, of The Undertaker. And actually, for a while, they gave a stat last night. As everybody knows, The Undertaker's undefeated WrestleMania streak that was broken at WrestleMania 30 by Brock Lesnar. He was 21-0 before that. He was actually at 1.8-0 at Survivor Series. And I think the first loss at Survivor Series came against Vince McMahon at the 2003 Survivor Series. And in the Buried Alive match, if I'm not mistaken. If it was before that, then I apologize. I will have to check my notes. But as it is, The Undertaker being in WWE, a standard of excellence, a standard of just a measuring stick of the WWE for 25 years. I mean, if you put it in perspective, and JBL last night on the actual broadcast was putting it into perspective, the fact that The Undertaker has been around for 25 years. What other major sports stars could ever go 25? I mean, with the exception of guys in WWE or in wrestling like Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, but The Undertaker has far surpassed, in my opinion, both of them, and they're both icons of the sport, or the form of entertainment, sports entertainment. The Undertaker has far surpassed them because he knows, number one, he knows when he needs to be there. Number two, he keeps himself in great shape. There's no flab anywhere. I mean, the dude is jacked for being 50 years old. And he understands the business to the point where if he needs to stay out for a year, he'll stay out for a year. He's in character almost all the time, at least when he's around the WWE audience. At home, I don't know, but The Undertaker has been the measuring stick, the standard of excellence in the WWE now for 25 years. a quarter of a century. As a matter of fact, he debuted in 1990 at the Survivor Series in Hartford, Connecticut, the Hartford Civic Center, as part of the $1 Million Team with Teddy DiBiase and Rhythm and Blues, the Honky Tonk Man, and Greg the Hammer Valentine. And they took on Dusty Rhodes, Coco Beware, and the Hart Foundation. Coco Beware being the first person to feel the Tombstone Piledriver by The Undertaker. And The Undertaker's first manager being Brother Love. Blubber Love, as we all used to call him back then. And you know what? That Survivor Series is actually memorable for yet another debut. The Gobbledygooker. Of course, Gobbledygooker will live in infamy. But The Undertaker being a constant in the WWE locker room for 25 years is awesome. Now, the debate has been going around, and JBL had mentioned it last night. Do you think that's the end of the Brothers of Destruction? Do you think that was the curtain call, so to speak, of The Undertaker and Kane? I don't think so. I would like to see him go one more time at WrestleMania. Not against each other, of course. And I think Kane still has a couple years left. But I wouldn't mind seeing The Undertaker go into the Hall of Fame, or The Undertaker and Sting both going into the Hall of Fame the night before WrestleMania 32 in Dallas, and then fighting each other in the match that everybody has wanted to see for, I want to say, 15 of those 25 years. The Undertaker versus Sting. Of course, it would have been much better had Sting come over in 2005 or 2004, but now that it's going to be 2016, both of them being a little bit past their prime, but The Undertaker can still go. Sting can go, but not as... I don't think Sting is at this point on the par of The Undertaker. The Undertaker, for being a guy that's 6'10 and a half, 328 pounds, but he's just solid muscle. The Sting, being that he fought at WrestleMania and then again at Night of Champions, and then Night of Champions he got hurt from Seth Rollins. I don't know if Sting is necessarily up to it. So we'll see how the WWE goes forward with it. It may be that The Undertaker just rides off into the sunset. But I do feel that he needs that retirement tour, which I would figure to say that this is it. Seeing as in 2015 he's wrestled more times than he has in the past 2 years. Or past few years, I should say. Because you got to think about it. I would say 2011, maybe 2012, 2013 is when he literally only wrestled at WrestleMania. Fighting Triple H, Shawn Michaels, CM Punk, Brock Lesnar, and then Bray Wyatt. He's, only wrestled that one time per year until 2015, where, he wrestled Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, then Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, then Brock Lesnar at Hell in a Cell. Now, he faced the Wyatt family again, last night. So that's 4 matches in a year for him, and he's obviously getting up there in age. So the fact is, this might be his retirement tour, and he would end up being fantastic. And the fact is, he'll be remembered for, obviously, he'll be remembered and going down in history. He's sure as heck a first ballot Hall of Famer. If Ric Flair could go in while still being quote unquote a competitor and an active superstar, The Undertaker definitely can as well. But that's me. Alright, so going on to other results from Survivor Series. The very first Survivor Series, traditional Survivor Series matchup, it was the Dudley Boys and, let's see, this was on the kickoff show, actually. And it was the Dudley Boys, Neville, Titus O'Neil and the returning Goldust against Stardust, The Ascension. Who else is in there? Stardust, The Ascension, The Miz, and oh crud! Now I have to actually go and check. Go and check the stats, if you will, the results, because I can't remember. Was the kickoff show why they put a traditional Survivor Series matchup on the kickoff show? I don't know, but that's just what it was. So, a lot went down at WrestleMania last night. At Survivor Series, excuse me. So we ended up. Let me trying to get to the whole. Excuse me. I'm trying to get to the whole. Well, the whole results there, because I want to. Of course, it doesn't bring me to where I need to go. Scott Hall was backstage at the Survivor Series last night. He, lives in the Atlanta area with DDP. So, getting his life on track is a great thing, of course. Let's see. Oh, big news. As a matter of fact, before I even get to the results, over the weekend, I think it was like Friday, over the weekend, they had announced that ISIS had supposedly put in a they had supposedly put out a list of places they were going to attack on Sunday, and the activist hacker group, which from what I've heard, Anonymous, actually hacked into the database of ISIS, and the Phillips Arena in Atlanta, where the Survivor Series is going to be taking place, was on the list of possible targets. Obviously they took it serious. WWE took it seriously. FBI was involved, and the Atlanta local police were involved. They found it to not be a credible threat, but they still took it seriously. Got all the fans in, and that just it was great. I mean, they showed solidarity, and they showed that they're not afraid of ISIS, although they have to take them seriously anyways, because they don't want to put their fans at risk. Obviously, nothing happened, but it was just funny that a WWE pay-per-view was a supposed threat by ISIS. That was just wow. They really want to get rid of as many Americans as they can, which we got to get rid of them first. Anyways, all right. Here's the Survivor Series kickoff match. The Miz, Bo Dallas, and the Cosmic Wasteland versus Neville, the Dudley Boys, and Titus O'Neil and Goldust in the traditional Survivor Series matchup. The survivors, and actually the only member of the Neville team that was eliminated was Neville himself. Goldust, Titus O'Neil, and the Dudley Boys were the only were the survivors. So it's great to see. I wish they would do more traditional Survivor Series matches, but to do them like they used to. And whereas if you remember back in the day, back when the WWE, was, in its existence, during the WWF days, the World Wrestling Federation days, they would have all the storylines of the Survivor Series matchups come together almost. You had one year you had the Ultimate Warrior teaming with the Kerry Von Erich, the Texas Tornado, and the Legion of Doom as the Warriors, which actually was a throwback because obviously the Legion of Doom were the Road Warriors. You have the Ultimate Warrior himself, and Kerry Von Erich used to be called the Modern Day Warrior. So you had the entire Warriors faction taking on Mr. Perfect and Demolition. Mr. Perfect was feuding with Texas Tornado at the time, and the Ultimate Warrior for that matter at the time. And then obviously Demolition and the Legion of Doom were fighting. So it's like, they would all brawl in the ring, and all the storylines would converge, and it was actually awesome. I loved that concept. It just doesn't happen anymore because you don't have that many black and white heel and faces, if you know what I mean. There's nobody that you can say he's a pure heel, he's a pure face. There's a lot of people that are shades of gray, and you don't know whether they're heels or faces. Faces get cheered and booed. Look at John Cena and Roman Reigns. And then you get heels that are cheered and booed. Look at, Kevin Owens and Brock Lesnar. So that's what that is. Okay. First matchup of the actual pay-per-view event. Roman Reigns versus Alberto Del Rio in the first semifinal match of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship tournament. And Roman Reigns defeated Alberto Del Rio, and it was a really good match. Del Rio focused on the shoulder, tried to get the cross arm breaker, and Roman Reigns ended up defeating him with a fantastic spear. Next match was Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens, and Ambrose got the victory. He managed to reverse 2 of the pop-up power bombs from Kevin Owens, and then Ambrose ended up winning in a really, really good match. I really like both of the guys, but I really like Kevin Owens. I think because he's not the quote-unquote stereotypical wrestler, because he's not, he's kind of a throwback to the old-time wrestlers, because if you look like a guy like Dick Murdoch or Dusty Rhodes, they were bigger guys. They weren't necessarily the most built. Kevin Owens is a throwback, and he's a fantastic wrestler, and he can move for a big guy. So I really like his style, and I see championship. I mean, he's the current Intercontinental Champion, but I see a world title in his future, absolutely. So Dean Ambrose got in there. The next traditional Survivor Series match was Ryback with the Lucha Dragons and the Usos against the New Day, Wade Barrett, or King Barrett, and Sheamus. And out of those matchups, it was back and forth, but the survivors were Ryback, Kalisto, and one of the Usos. I think it was Jimmy Uso. And it was great. It was fantastic how the three survivors worked together. And that was that. That was for the second traditional Survivor Series match. Next one was the WWE Women's Championship between Paige and Charlotte. Charlotte won in what was a great match. But the thing that I find funny is that the women, dare I say divas, are back down to just one match per card. I mean, you really want to do a Divas Revolution, a Women's Revolution? How great would it have been to have a traditional Survivor Series match with, a 10-woman tag team, 5-on-5 women. So, 5-on-5 women, I should say. They could have done Sasha Banks with Cameron, or with Naomi and Tamina, and add in there a couple of the NXT women against the Team Bella with 2 other women. I mean, it would have been great. You throw Becky Lynch into one of the teams. You throw, Carmella, Alexa Bliss, Bayley. It would have been a great thing to do. You had Natalya as well. And they could have done that. But they didn't. And they should have. Because, unfortunately, the women aren't taken, they still aren't taken seriously. And I think it's because they call them divas. Honestly, that's my opinion. Get rid of the divas term, the divas title, go back to women's wrestling, the women's title, like they have in NXT, and that's all there is to it. Alright, next, they had Dolph Ziggler versus Tyler Breeze. Okay? Tyler Breeze picked up the victory, and that's what that is. Tyler Breeze picked up the victory. He got the upset in his debut, in his pay-per-view debut, if you will. Him and Summer Rae, defeated Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler must be in the doghouse for something. I really don't know what. But he's such a fantastic talent. They got to do more with him. They really do. Then you had The Undertaker and Kane versus the Wyatt family. And like I told you already, Undertaker and Kane won that one. And then in the finals of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship tournament, Roman Reigns against Dean Ambrose. What I thought, I knew it was going to come down to that. I really did. And it was a fantastic matchup as it was. The fact they're two best friends, and I really thought, I knew it was going to end one of two ways. One of my predictions came true, the other one obviously did not. I thought, they've been talking about Dean Ambrose heel turn for a while now. I thought that was it. I thought they were going to have Ambrose turn on Reigns and join the Authority, and that's how they get the title. It didn't. It was a clean match. Roman Reigns won with a spear. Got the 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns, your new World Heavyweight Champion. Unfortunately, that's not where it ended. My second prediction came true. And Triple H came out to congratulate Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns gave him the spear and turned around right into a bro kick from Sheamus, who came down to cash in the Money in the Bank. And after the one bro kick, he went to go pin Reigns. Reigns kicked out. But then a second bro kick finished him off. And lo and behold, our second new World Heavyweight Champion of the night, Sheamus, cashes the Money in the Bank successfully. And it was a throwback to SummerSlam 2013 when Daniel Bryan defeated John Cena. And Randy Orton came out to cash in the Money in the Bank after Triple H turned on Daniel Bryan and really created this whole Authority thing. So that's what that is. And well, quite honestly, I feel that they need to build Reigns up, and you know what? It's okay. He got a taste of the gold. Albeit 3 minutes of it, he's a one-time world champion now. The TLC poster, promo poster, is showing Reigns, so I have a feeling Reigns and Sheamus are going to be in a feud going forward, and I would say probably that Reigns will have the title by WrestleMania. I do feel that way. He's gotten to the point where, he was number one contender twice. Twice he had the title taken from him. But now, I think he's really geared up for it. And I think it's great, because they really need to have a faces champion. The time of the heel champion, I think, has run its course. From, they went directly from Brock to Seth Rollins, now to Sheamus. And really didn't have much time as a face in between. The last time we had a face as champion was in 2014, and that was Cena for a few months after beating Randy Orton for it. And actually, it wasn't even for a few months. It was for a month. Actually, no. Wait a minute. I take that back. Cena won it at Money in the Bank. After Daniel Bryan had to vacate it. So it went from Bryan to Cena, and that was only a few months, and then Brock won it from Cena, and then, then it went to Seth Rollins and now Sheamus. So they really need to have a face as champion now, because now it's a little overboard that they really, been given the title to the heel, and that's my opinion. Let's get to our next song, and it's Second Skin with Bottle, right here on the Sportswire.
is Baby Doll from WSLA 1560 AM's The Sports Guru Show, and you're listening to Sportswire. It's the hottest sports show in entertainment.
That's right. We are the most electrifying show in sports talk radio, the Sportswire. I want to thank Baby Doll from WSLA's The Sports Guru Show. We had a pretty good interview with her last Thursday, and, just going forward, we're going to get into some NFL news now, because, you know what, it's that time. That's right, it is. It is that time of the year where the NFL starts to pick up. It is, we're in the midst of Week 11. We have one more game tonight, which, quite honestly, should not be even the game, but it is, either way. So, tonight on Monday Night Football on ESPN, starting at 8:30, I believe 8:30, you've got the 9-0 New England Patriots taking on the Buffalo Bills, and Rex Ryan, I'm sure Rex Ryan has some tricks up his sleeve, but the Patriots are that much better. They just are. However, they're not the best team in football. Yes, I said it here. The Patriots are not the best team in football this year. I have to go with, well, I'll get to it in just a minute. I know I'm not going to say the Pittsburgh Steelers. But, no, the Patriots are not the best team in football right now. In my opinion, it is the Carolina Panthers, who improved to 10-0 yesterday with a very handy win. But I'll get to that in just a second. All right. On the Thursday night game, this past Thursday, the Jacksonville Jaguars defeated the Tennessee Titans 19-13. Starting in yesterday's games now, the Broncos barely edged out the Bears 17-15. Peyton Manning is on the shelf with plantar fasciitis, so that's a big reason why the Broncos were not as dominant as normal. The Detroit Lions picked up the win against the Oakland Raiders 18-13. The Indianapolis Colts defeated the Falcons 24-21. The Houston Texans defeated the New Jersey Jets 24-17. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers crushed the Philadelphia Eagles 45-17. The Carolina Panthers completely mauled the Washington Redskins 44-16, and they improved to 10-0 on the season. And that's why I feel they're the best team in football at this point. I could seriously see the Panthers going on to win the Super Bowl. If it comes down to Panthers and Patriots, I will be rooting for the Panthers. The Cowboys, all debates are over. For all the Cowboy fans out there or the Cowboy haters out there, the fact is you cannot win without Tony Romo. It's been proven. Romo was out 7 weeks or 8 weeks with the bye, but Romo was out for 7 weeks, a 7-game losing streak. Romo comes back, the Cowboys are winners 24-14 over the Dolphins. So everybody's got to shut up. Tony Romo, in my opinion, is the glue that is holding that team together, and that's all there is to it. So, everybody's got to shut up now. Tony Romo is where it's at in Dallas. And, whatever you want to say about Jason Garrett, whatever you want to say about Jerry Jones, Tony Romo has to be on that field in Dallas. The Baltimore Ravens defeated the St. Louis Rams 16-13. In a game that the Rams were actually up 13-3 at one point, but the Ravens came back. The Kansas City Chiefs completely defeated the San Diego Chargers 33-3. The Green Bay Packers finally got back to their winning ways with a 30-13 win over the Minnesota Vikings. The Seattle Seahawks defeated the 49ers 29-13. Colin Kaepernick is out for the season, being put on the injured reserve list, and I have a feeling he'll be out of San Francisco by the end of the year. And the St. Louis, oh good grief. In last night's Sunday night game, the Cardinals defeated the Bengals 34-31. Isn't it weird how There's none of the quote-unquote undefeated teams only got one loss. it was more after they were undefeated. They lost, more than one. Because, obviously Green Bay went on the 3-game skid. Denver went 2 games. Now the Bengals are 2 games, 2 losses. So that's that. Teams on the bye this week: the New Jersey Giants, the New Orleans Saints, the Cleveland Browns, and my Pittsburgh Steelers. Going over the standings, obviously the Patriots and the Bills will play tonight. Patriots sitting on top at 9-0. The Bills underneath them at 5-4. A loss for the Bills would mean they would be tied with the Jets for at 5-5, and then the Dolphins are 4-6. In the AFC North, you got the Cincinnati Bengals still up on top, 8-2. Steelers are 6-4. Ravens are 3-7, and the Browns are 2-8. The Browns, by the way, announced that Johnny Manziel will be the starting quarterback for the rest of the season. And actually, he won't be fined or suspended for a DUI incident, or an incident where his girlfriend called for domestic violence, or whatever, domestic assault, whatever the case was. I wasn't following it too closely, but there's going to be no action taken against Johnny Manziel. In the AFC South, Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans are on top of the division. They're both 5-5. The Colts are 3-0 in the division, which gives them the lead right now. But at least the top of the division is finally, at 500. The Jacksonville Jaguars are 4-6, and the Tennessee Titans are 2-8. The Jaguars, what can I say? They started out 3-0, and then they went on a 6-game losing streak. No, I'm sorry, they started out 2-0. Then they went on a 5-game losing streak. They won a game last weekend, and then they lost this weekend, so unfortunately. And then the Tennessee Titans are 2-8. In the AFC West, the Broncos are 8-2. The Kansas City Chiefs are 5-5. The Raiders are 4-6, and the San Diego Chargers are 2-8. In the NFC East, up on top of the division, the New Jersey Giants at 5-5. Again, at 500. The Washington Redskins and the Eagles are tied at 4-6, and Dallas are 3-7. In the NFC North, the Packers and the Vikings are both tied at 7-3. And I think the tiebreaker would go to the Vikings because they're 3-1 in the division. However, the Packers just beat the Vikings, so and they're 2-1 in the division, so it could go either way. The Bears are 4-6, and the Detroit Lions are 3-7. In the NFC South, of course, the Panthers are running away with the division, 10-0. The Falcons are 6-4. The Buccaneers are 5-5, and the Saints at the bottom of the barrel at 4-6. And the NFC West, the Arizona Cardinals are on top, 8-2. The Seattle Seahawks are 5-5. The Rams are 4-6, which I don't understand why they're still in the West if they're in St. Louis, but whatever. And then the San Francisco 49ers are 3-7. We should be seeing some clinching going on pretty soon, especially with the undefeated teams. But at least clinching playoff berth, I should say. But that's what that is. In our fantasy league, the SWE Powerhouse Fantasy Team, and again, now I told you on Thursday that I noticed that we were in a pattern. We went 2 losses, then we got 2 wins. Then we got 3 losses, and then we got 3 wins. However, we actually might pull to over 500 this week. Going in, we were favored to lose. We were the underdogs by like a 1.5. However, after this, after yesterday's games and the, we are actually favored to win because the Purple Cobras don't have anybody going tonight, and they ended at 80.8. I have new pickup, Danny Amendola from the New England Patriots going, and I'm at 78.4. So now I'm favored to get to at least 89. But like I said, all I need is 2 points, 2.4, 2.5, 2.5 points to win the game, and go to 6-5 on the season, which is great. Devontae Freeman had a very upsetting game, only 43 yards. I think he got hurt, which is going to really hurt. But it's just a matter I can't find any running backs or wide receivers that actually, make points. But you know what's been helping? The kicker. I picked up, from Carolina. He got me 16 points. 3 for 3 in field goals, 5 for 5 in extra points. That's 16 points. Depending on how long the field goals were, but either way, 16 points. And then Carson Palmer got me 32.6 points, 317 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He had Matt Ryan going in Atlanta, 23.9 points, 280 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He had a great guys going. Adrian Peterson, 10.1 points, 45 yards with a touchdown but a fumble. Darren McFadden from Dallas, 14.9 points, 129 yards. He had Larry Fitzgerald going last night, 8 receptions, 90 yards for 9 points. Brandon Marshall from the Jets, 5 receptions, 47 yards, and a touchdown for 10.7 points. Jason Witten from Dallas did nothing, 2.7 points. Ivory from the Jets, 4.5. The Bengals defense got 4 points, and their kicker got only 1 extra point for Minnesota. My Rams defense got only 5 points. Starks from Green Bay picked up 4.4 points. Kelsey from Kansas City got me 4.6 points. Crabtree only got me 5 points. So I'm kind of resting on Amendola tonight to get at least 2.5 points. And so hopefully Tom Brady targets him at some point today, because that would be absolutely fantastic for me, because that would improve my record to 6-5. All right, so we're going to get to our next song. It's a song I haven't played on here in a while, actually. It's Dean Wild with Only Human, right here on the Sportswire.
Human, I'm only human. Human, I'm only human. I'm only human, I've got emotions too. The side inside this chest is a little bruised from being used. Born strong, one of God's soldiers, living in a world full of new world order. It's taking over, moving forward, no going back. Never good to let yourself stay too attached to the past. I'm only human. We let go, too much pride, so many emotions that we try to hide, try to change the way we feel inside. The way half the world is living is just a lie. Where's your pride? Hiding behind a mask is your disguise. At night when you see Kansas, hold your head high, look up to the skies. That's the Lord, He won't lie. Human, I'm only human. Human, I'm only human. Can you protect me from evil, God? Can you save my life? Got the angels with me on my left shoulder, but the devil's on my right. Take me for a ride so I can see the light. Opened up my eyes to the bigger picture. My future's looking bright. I'm only human. Dean Wild, Stay Blessed Productions. Yeah. Human, I'm only human. I'm only human.
Hey guys, Vanessa here from Pose. Are you tired of listening to the same old stations? Are you ready for a change? Well, there's something new coming your way. Fat Cat Radio, hosted by Twism White Peas. Listen to what you've been missing.
That's right. That was Dean Wild with Only Human, but also don't forget to tune in to Twism White Peas here on Fat Cat Radio. I believe it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday nights, 8:30 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time here on Fat Cat Radio. So definitely check them out. You can check out Twism White Peas all the time on Facebook. Facebook.com/Twism White Peas. That's TWIZMWHYTEPIECE. Definitely check him out. Great talent, great hip hop artist, good friend, and definitely helping to keep Fat Cat Radio going. All right, so what else do we have to talk about today? I recently, and I'm gonna, where do I begin this? I recently did a social experiment on Facebook, and I asked about 100, and I think I brought this up. I asked about 100 random women that are friends or followers on Facebook if they value themselves, and I got a ton of different responses from yes to actually deep reasons why to no and why, and then you get the ones that are just yes, I'm awesome or whatever. The fact is, I really get sick of seeing on Facebook now. Don't get me wrong. I think Facebook is a tool to keep in touch with, friends and followers and promotion and fans. Definitely that's just awesome. What I don't like is the constant whining and complaining of people on Facebook. And the thing is, I know people say, oh, what I post does not necessarily mean that that's what I'm going through in life. It's just a post, whatever. But you know what? It shows where your mindset is. Why would you post something if your mindset is not there? If I find something that I don't find that I like, I'm not going to post it. I don't care. So, it's like I've seen too much of this, and there are, a couple of perpetrators out there that do this, but I'm really sick and tired of scrolling through my timeline and seeing, especially women. I don't see many guys doing it, but especially women. If I died today, what would you do? Or what do you think of me? Or this, that, the other thing. First of all, why do you have to value yourself based on other people's responses or what other people feel about you, who you probably haven't met half of them because they're on Facebook? Okay? First off, and I posted this last night under the Sportswire host banner. I'm really sick and tired of seeing that kind of garbage on Facebook. Because then, it's like you're putting the fact out there that you have no self-worth. And no self-worth, no value to yourself. Or you only value yourself if people that you talk to or you comment on their pictures or whatever, if they happen to like you or want to date you, or if they'll mourn for your death or whatever. It's absolutely stupid in my opinion. And it's like I know that I put one out there for for fun or whatever. Got no responses, but I don't care. It's like, yeah, everybody wants to know how people feel about them. Everybody wants to know how people feel about them, and it's one of those things. But you can't base your life and base your value, your self-worth on what other people think about you. You just can't, because you're going to rack your brain. Now, I put my self-worth based on what I do for a living. The very first thing that I value myself for is being a son of God. And no, I'm not saying that I'm Jesus, but the fact is, I am a son of God. I was baptized into Christ. I am a follower of Jesus Christ. I'm a disciple of Christ. I am a son of God. Okay? And I'm a man of God, and that's what I hold most dear. I'm a father. You know, I have a job. I have a podcast that I'm trying to get big, trying to find sponsors to help me get to that next level. But that's what I hold dear to myself. That's how I value myself. I'm going to have an interview with a female therapist or a female. I guess you will. Somebody who talks to females and knows their work, social worker. And kind of go over these things. It'll be a women's show, and I'll promote it as such, and I'll let all that know. I'll let you all know that. But why I don't understand why people value themselves or place so much value on what other people think of them. Yeah, I know it's Facebook, it's friendship, but if you're gonna say that that's not your life, why post it? It's like. And I guess maybe that I don't understand Facebook so much because it's like I don't like when people tag when I had my Facebook account. I didn't like when people tagged me if I wasn't somewhere, or like if somebody's not in a picture, don't tag them. They'll see it on your timeline if they're your friend, because if, for example, okay. My son's mother would take a picture of my son and tag like all of her family down in Florida. They're your friends, right? They'll see it on your timeline. They're not in the picture. You're not with them. Don't tag them. Okay? It's like, unless you're with somebody, that's the whole point of tagging. Unless you want somebody to see something and you're specifically posting it for them to see, then you put their name in there. Fine, but you don't put... you don't put a name on a picture that's not in there. First of all, like, for example, with my son, I don't like his picture being shared more than it has to be. Or people seeing it more than they have to. It's like safeguarded. Especially because I don't know people very well. And I don't know people, especially his mother's family down in Florida. You never know who could be seeing that, especially because it's going to appear on all their timelines, and who's going to see it and whatever. That's why it's like only post it on your own timeline, and people can see it, or send it in a private message. It's like, and that's what I think. God, safeguard yourself. But going back to, it's like, I'm tired of seeing these people with very low self-esteem. I'll be the first one to say I have low self-esteem because of all the garbage that I've been through in my life. Bullying and the fact that my father never saw much value in me, still doesn't, and then it's like, but that doesn't define me. That doesn't define my value. My value comes from God above. And as long as I know that I'm living a life for Him, and He's gonna prosper me, then that's all there is to it. That's what makes me happy. That's what I show value in myself. And I wish more people would do that. But more people think that the more friends they have, the more guys they have flirting with them, the more girls they have, the more girls' phone numbers they have, the more pictures they have, that's what they value. The more money they have. Give me a break. First of all, God over money. That's Bizzle's, catchphrase. And that's the truth. Secondly, that doesn't show value. In fact, that shows the opposite. It's almost like, that's why I never got into the whole player bar type scene. Because if I'm going to be with a girl, I'm going to be with her and her alone. I'll have female friends, but I'm not going to be focused on them sexually, and I'm not going to be focused on them romantically. No, I'm going to be with my girlfriend. And I never understood that, date a girl, date another girl, date, 3 girls, then choose. No. It's like, I want to build with you, so I'm going to build with you. And that's what it comes down to. Now, if you date a girl and there's no attraction there, then that's a different story. But if there's an attraction and there's an interest, You don't go dating other girls. You know, you don't go dating other guys if you find a guy attractive, and there's a mutual interest there. You know, no, absolutely not. In my opinion. But that's what that is. And for those of you out there that do that, it's like I just don't. I personally just don't get it. It's like because then it makes you look desperate. It makes you look like you have no self-worth. It's like, pick a letter, and that letter corresponds to what you want to do to me. And they'll range from be my friend to rape me to, force me to bark like a dog or or pluck me like a chicken, or it's like stupid stuff. But still, it's like, but then it's like, you want me to be your girlfriend, you want me to be your best friend, you want to be best friends forever, you want to kiss me, you want to make out with me, you want to lust after me, so it's like, why? There's no point in it. And then there's also those ones, oh, well, if I died tomorrow, would you be at my funeral? Really? You're going to post that on Facebook? Why? It's like, alright, when Big Lou passed in June, which was a very hard day for me, when Big Lou passed in June, it's like, yeah, I would put I put an RIP shout out on Facebook. Okay, fine. But if he didn't live in Connecticut, would I be going to his funeral? Probably not. Probably not. Because, it's like, if I didn't meet him in person, would I be going? Probably not. It's just one of those things. Like, why put it on Facebook? If you died, the most important people in your life would already know. It's like, that's all there is to it. The most important people in your life would already know. Your parent, your family, your close friends, they would already know. So why put it on Facebook? Are you either that popular that you have legions and legions of fans? And if you were that popular, it would probably be on TV. Get over it. Move on. Focus on yourself. Strengthen yourself. Focus on your faith. Because that's what it's going to boil down to in the end. Is that God is going to put your faith in God. Because Jeremiah 29:11 does tell you that I promise I have plans I have set for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. As long as you follow me with your entire heart. That's very, very difficult. And I can tell you from experience that it's very difficult to put your entire faith in God when you don't see Him. You see Him because you see creation. But you don't physically see God picking up and putting people in your life. Or saying, here's a car. He gives you signs. But you got to pray for those signs. You got to trust Him. You got to put your whole faith in God. And be able to say, yes, you know what? Your will be done. Not my will, but your will. If you want this to happen, let it be. If you don't want this to happen, show me that it's not going to happen. Or let it be. And that's it. Because when it comes to any kind of relationships, whether it's friendships, family relationships, or romantic relationships, you shouldn't have to work too hard at it. It should come naturally. You should want to pick up the phone and call somebody or text somebody. Not, I gotta call this person so they don't think I don't like them, or I gotta text this person so they won't start hounding me, or that person texted me again. Can't they get a hint I don't want to talk to them? No, you gotta pick up, communicate. It's like, but again, you got to be that kind of person to just pick it up and just say, you know what? I want to talk to this person. Let me text this person, see how this person's feeling, or how this person's doing, how their day is. Hey, you want to go grab a burger at Red Robin after service on Sunday? hey, I noticed you're not going anywhere for Thanksgiving. Why don't you come to my house? I mean, that's what friendship is. It's not this, oh, I commented on your picture. Or I liked your picture. I mean, granted, you do have your regular friends on Facebook. I'm not what I'm saying. But if you're halfway around the globe, or halfway across the country, are you really, are you really that kind of, hey, hop on a plane and come over to my house for Christmas? Well, yeah, you may have that heart, but is it realistic? Probably not. So, my whole thing is, stop posting the stuff on there to see how people feel about you. Because you know what? Eventually, somebody's going to be like, you know what? It's not worth it. And if you get your emotions tied up in how other people feel about you, that's a slippery slope that you may not come back from without a lot of therapy. Now, it's always good to hear encouraging words. It's always good to, feel encouraged by what people say and how people feel about you, but don't go fishing for it. If it's your birthday and people put together a surprise party for you and share about you, then that's awesome. But if they don't, if it's not your birthday, if it's not something specifically geared towards encouraging you, if somebody can't see that you're feeling upset and discouraged, then chances are nobody's going to try to encourage you until you actually pick up the phone and say, you know what, I've been feeling this kind of way. Can I talk about it? Can I talk to you about it? That's all there is to it. So, folks, I want to thank you. As a matter of fact, we're going to get to our next two songs. We're going to go to our final two songs of the day. Our first one is going to be from Jenna Murata, Never Forget. And our second one is going to be a different song from A.J. Jansen, Bars, Scars, and Old Guitars. So here's Jenna Murata right now with Never Forget, right here on the Sportswire.
Can't fly without you, baby. Go slow, you move too quickly. Wasn't ready to fly on my own. You grew to love me, baby. Our love was not forsaken. We took a vow all the time.
Never forget.
dream. I'll find you in heaven, and when I get there, get together, and I'll be safe in your arms. Keep telling myself, never forget, never forget, never forget. What's a little girl like me singing songs out in the country? Well, I've been playing this circuit since about 10:30. Guess my wild roots ain't so blonde. I've been sowing the seeds I've grown in this hip hop, pop, rock, country kind of world. And I've seen Graceland in Memphis and the Country Music Hall of Fame. I've seen the Southern Shore and the General Store where everybody knows my name. And I've been baptized and criticized for taking this road too far. Now I'm living off bars, deep-rooted scars, and these old guitars. Well, the beat run ain't so bad when you play a crowd of three. But the legends before started like this, girl, hear you sing. I make a living singing around. The big guns can't stop me now. I'm a rebel, rose alley cat, gypsy on the prowl. And I've seen Graceland in Memphis and the Country Music Hall of Fame. I've seen the Southern Shore and the General Store where everybody knows my name. And I've been baptized and criticized for taking this road too far. Now I'm living off bars, deep-rooted scars, and these old guitars. Well, I've seen Graceland in Memphis and the Country Music Hall of Fame. I've seen the Southern Shore and the General Store where everybody knows my name. And I've been baptized and criticized for taking this road too far. Now I'm living off bars, deep-rooted scars, and these old guitars. I've been baptized and criticized for taking this road too far. Now I'm living off bars, deep-rooted scars, and these old guitars.
All right, and that was AJ Jansen with Bar, Scars, and Old Guitars, right here on the Sportswire. It's amazing. I want to thank our awesome musical guests for tonight, because for today's episode, because you know what? Again, like I said, they are awesome, and that they are Jenna Murata, AJ Jansen, Dean Wild, second skin, and of course Bizzle, starting it off with Alhala, great worship song to our God. All right, we're going to get to our final segment of the show. And that would be our dumb laws of the day. So, we are actually going up north to up northern than where we are in upper New England in Maine. We're going up there today for our dumb laws of the day. All right, so here we go. Dumb laws in Maine. These are all courtesy of dumblaws.com. Of course, check them out. Big government, small brains, dumb laws. Shotguns are required to be taken to church in the event of a Native American attack. Of course, that's probably old now. I would say now it's in the event of an ISIS attack. You may not step out of a plane in flight. I think that would be normal, except for what about if you have a parachute on and you're, parachuting. After January 14th, you will be charged a fine for having your Christmas decorations still up. Now, that's something I can get behind. And they should have it if you have your decorations up before Thanksgiving, you would get fined. Because I already see Christmas decorations popping up, and it's not even Thanksgiving yet. Hey. All right, city laws in Maine. In Augusta, to stroll down the street playing a violin is against the law. In Biddeford, it is illegal to gamble at the airport. Okay. An old person may roller skate on the sidewalk. It means you got to be in the streets, I guess. In Ellsworth, if any part of the sign ordinances of the city are more stringent than federal laws, even though they may be in conflict with them, they will prevail. All right, that makes sense. In Freeport, mercury thermometers may not be sold in the city. Okay. It is illegal to expectorate from any second-story window. I believe that's blow your nose, if I'm not mistaken. I have to look that up because I've seen that, the expectorate. What does it mean to expectorate? Let me find out. What does it mean? This is why I use Bing. What does it mean to expectorate? There we go. I believe to cough or spit out phlegm from throat or lungs. Okay, so that's an expectorate. That's what I thought. Something like that. In South Berwick, it is illegal to park in front of Dunkin' Donuts. There you go. In Waterboro, dog leashes may not be over 8 feet in length. Well, I think that's wrong because, you have the retractable ones. Okay. In Wells, the deer may not be fed, and advertisements may not be placed in cemeteries. Alrighty, well, that's just crazy. There's so much more dumb stuff that we could do. After we get through the dumb laws, we can move on to, dumb criminals, dumb bumpers, dumb facts. There's a whole bunch of them, courtesy of dumblaws.com. All right, folks, we've reached the end of our episode for today. Went a little longer today than normal because we had to talk about the Survivor Series and the Undertaker's 25-year anniversary of his debut as that character, of course. He had been wrestling prior to that in WCW as Mean Mark Callis. He was in WCCW World Class as Big Red. But as The Undertaker, 25 years. Amazing. Big old congrats to The Undertaker. Alright, so let's go to God in prayer and thank God for an awesome show for today. Father God, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for the opportunity to just talk to the listeners. I want to thank you for just being able to, be able to be here, Father. Be able to wake up in the morning to have food and drink. I pray for all those homeless people out there that don't have food and clothes and shelter and are cold out there, Father. I pray that we're able to help them. I pray that you're able to allow me to reach out to the people that don't have you in their hearts, that don't want to be bothered with Christianity, but they realize that they could still live their lives. It's tough, but I pray that you just allow me to reach all the people all the time. Lord, I thank you for the skills and talents you've given me. I thank you for finding me a car and providing it to me on your time, Father. I thank you for the job. I thank you for this podcast. I thank you for sponsors that we'll find to help this podcast get, bigger and higher. Father, thank you for just everything you do for me on a daily basis, what you do for us, and the fact that you love all of us, whether we walk your way or not, whether we follow your rules or not, you still love us, everybody. You love us as sinners. You hate the sin, but you love us as sinners, Father. I thank you for everything you do on a daily basis, Father. I ask that we all have faith and can put our complete and 100% faith in you. And I ask all this through your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. So, folks, thank you for tuning into the Sportswire. We'll be back. Now, I haven't mentioned this, but Thursday is obviously Thanksgiving. I will be here live at 10 a.m. So, for our Thanksgiving episode, we'll probably do something crazy. But we will be here at 10. So tune in Thursday morning on the Sportswire. We'll see you then.